Waiata is one of those mediums that convey expressions and emotions.
What is Waiata? Is it talking in rhythm?
Waiata is a universal language, I think, and it's something that anybody can listen to, and they don't necessarily have to know what the words mean. You can tell just from how it sounds whether the singer is happy or sad or excited, and I think it's really good at as a leveller or a pacifier for maybe heated situations, or you can use it to kind of flare up a situation, or it's a very useful thing, like say a haka is very stirring, whereas an ori or a lullaby is to help you go to sleep.
The cicada in the forest, he speaks or sings his song. The cow in the paddock, he sings his song. So I find that Waiata is that medium of expression to convey emotions and dialogue, I guess, communication. It's a form of communication. And Waiata is that powerful medium of expression between you and your child. And you should use it appropriately and effectively, and express all the joy you can.
Children are born from an environment of rhythm, mother's heartbeat. Rhythm and sound is part of their world. 10 weeks before they're born, a baby in utero can hear. So if it's not only the rhythmic beat of a mother's heart that they're used to, they can also hear sounds outside the womb. So if a whānau is quite into singing Waiata, music, that baby has already been exposed to those rhythms and those words and those tunes before the baby's born. And a baby then, we've seen in studies where children respond to certain songs that they heard whilst they were in utero. So it just tells us how much a baby is able to pick up, and the rhythmic sound of music is they're particularly responsive to.
I think Waiata is important for young children because it helps them to learn words and to learn or hear and experience different tunes and beats and sounds, and they can get really excited by it, and it's one way of teaching them all of those things. And if you're lucky enough to be able to play music, then you can do that, or just putting on tapes that's quite, or CDs or DVDs, it's just what they seem to be really connected to it, and dance around without much provocation.
I mean, I've always sung Waiata to my tamariki, and I suppose I've used Waiata to do lots of things, to teach them about our, like for example at the marae, we've got Waiata that teaches them about the different carvings at our marae, teko teko, popo, tupuna. I've used Waiata to teach my tamariki about the different parts of their body, their tinana, all of those types of things. I mean, I've always sort of used Waiata as a form of education, because it's, our tamariki generally retain things a lot easier when they're done, using either lullaby or, Waiata. So, it's always been a big part and something that we do a lot of, yeah.
In terms of Waiata with children and with family, Waiata can be such a great learning tool for children. Like we've said earlier, how the brain thrives on repetition, and Waiata is a wonderful way to introduce a kaupapa to children.
the parents need to be good singers to bring Waiata in. I don't think so. I think parents just need to attempt and have an honest attempt at singing. I know many parents think, I'm flat and I can't sing, but by just trying and the children learning from the parents. Well, for myself, the main thing about Waiata is not the flatness and everything. It's the words that are interwoven. And when you pass those on to the children, they're never forgotten. Yeah, a lot of adults think they can't sing, and they just sort of shut the door on Waiata. But no, I think it's important, and they should just have a go.
Waiata can be really educational and stimulating for children, and say when they're learning about their body parts, there's different songs for that, or learning vowel sounds, and learning about colours and learning about birds and things like that. It's educational. Sometimes it's action packed because they're jumping and they're skipping and they're doing all those things. So there's a lot of fun in it, I think, for them.
If you were to put a kapa haka tape on and you just look at the expressions and excitement on my little man's face, that says a million things, And, as soon as he hears haka, that's him, he's there, you can just see the ihi and wihi. He's there, you can just sort of see it, he's wanting to express himself. And it's quite amazing because he's only 4, yet he understands that is a form of being able to express oneself. And it's just amazing, when you sort of sit there and you watch the faces of rangatahi and tamariki and, pepe, at kapa haka festivals, and you sort of sit there and you watch them, they just sit there in awe of, and some of them wouldn't even have the foggiest idea what the Waiata itself is about, but, they just get that sense of that, wow, this is me, and I suppose it is that sort of, I belong to that and that belongs to me.
I think it's really effective. Sometimes when they're just throwing all the toys out of the cot and they are just beside themselves and you sing a favourite song, they stop because you're not playing their game, you're actually singing some other tune, and I remember that tune, and suddenly they've calmed down. I think it's particularly why all these lullabies were written in ori ori, and the one I sing to my son and I sung to my girls was Moi Moi Pepe, and it's really short and easy, and for me, I'm not very good at remembering long songs, so they all know that one.
And was it effective?
Absolutely, yeah, it's really effective, because even now when I put Benjamin into bed, he says Moi Moi Pepe and starts rubbing his own head, so that's really good.
I mean, I always walked with my babies, especially if my babies were, were a bit grizzly or found it hard to go to sleep, I'd always walk up and down the hallway of our ware, carrying our baby, and I'd just sing Waiata over and over, and pātere and ori ori and all those types of things, and basically sing them to sleep. And probably wasn't a good habit that I developed, because my daughter in particular wouldn't go to sleep unless she was walked and sung to, so, but she's a gun kai Waiata now, so there you go, yeah.
2 songs I've heard my parents singing in those days. One was Manu Dere, and the other one was Pō Kare Kare Ana.
Oh, well,